is a bit different than my typical shoot. But a while back, a few of us on a different video gig had the idea that the Jib arm is a really fun tool to use, and it would be sick on a music video or a live music performance. But we were thinking, okay, how are we going to get this on one of our music video projects? Because you kind of need a bit of a budget, and usually local music videos in Calgary, I don't know, maybe there's probably some out there, but the ones we're getting at least, they don't tend to have super big budgets. So it wouldn't really make sense to bring out the whole jib arm setup. Are they all not
It seems they're all at half, but it's weird because I recently charged them all to full, so maybe they just don't hold their charge very well. But well, what if you just put it underneath?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like that would have been nice, but if it's blocking too much of the light, just try it like that.
Definitely need more insurance staff.
Yeah, we will. We'll go back up with another batch.
When I say jib, I mean one of these arms that can boom up and down and also kind of rotate along a single point, and then we put that on dolly tracks. What's set up on the end of it is a Movi gimbal, and then it was Emil's Sony FX6 and 24 to 70 millimeter f2.8 G Master. And then I'll explain how we keep the camera composing frames properly in a second here. What do you guys do? And what are your names?
I'm Ramon. I go by the legend Ramon. I'm an artist. I also make beats, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I identify as an artist.
You identify as an artist?
Yeah, absolutely. I do some film work. Today I'm behind the scenes, but I also do music stuff.
And what's your name?
And I am Ava Wild.
No matter how many times I hear them like that, that's your
Stage name and ID. Don't come for me.
That's crazy.
Tell us your name and a little bit about you, man.
I'm Wyatt. I'm pretty much like the most fire artist in the city. Pretty much like artist, engineer, videographer, cinematographer, first AC, camera tech. Like pretty much do everything.
Just the best at everything.
Pretty much like the best at everything, like low key.
Yeah.
But like extremely humble as well.
Okay, yeah. Love it, man. Thanks.
One stacked in the back, and one just has a fucking like loading screen. I don't know what game is in here. And then the other shows the picture.
Even that's kind of cool,
That's
actually.
cool.
That screen itself is pretty sick.
Yeah.
That's kind of neat. Like, yeah, I like that texture more.
Yeah.
Me too.
Oh, even that's cool too. Is it just going through like the starting menu?
I think so. Like it's trying to boot up the game.
So Emil spent some time troubleshooting these TVs, and we got the final touches in on the general lighting setup that would be used throughout.
Welcome to my retro game shop.
Skibby-doo.
Got Emil's Forza 60C spotlight.
Oh, actually, Ava, if you'd be able to, how's my hair?
That's beautiful.
Thank you. That's what I needed to hear. My name's Emil. I am a filmmaker and project director for various things. Today at Jib Night, working with Wyatt, Ava, Owen, everybody. We're gonna have some fun artists. I'm also apparently a retro games aficionado, even though I've never played a retro game in my life. Yeah.
Thanks, man. Okay, so back to the idea. I think it was Ava, or it was one of us filmmakers here, and we just kind of jokingly suggested we do a quote-unquote Jib Night, where we get as many artists to come as possible and bring a small fee to pay on their end and do a live music performance of one of their songs. It'd be sort of similar to the YouTube channel Colors or some Vivo live performance stuff we've seen. And if I've learned one thing in the industry, it's that when you think of a project idea, you should take action as soon as possible, or else it's just never going to happen. And this could have almost been a, oh yeah, it'd be cool to do one day sort of thing, but our team right here, we got right to it. After the success of the first one, now we have the second session of live showcases, so it's pretty exciting. As artists, we should absolutely strive to get paid what we feel our art is worth, but what you quickly come to realize in a creative career is that people don't automatically want to hire you before they've seen you do the work. Exactly what happened with this idea. We did it for cheap, as we just had to get the ball rolling on the idea immediately, and we're slowly increasing the price and value we're providing over time. It's currently kind of criminally low cost for the artists to get involved, but we did want to bring our Calgary music community together since we've never really seen something like this. So we kind of had to get started somehow, and we do have a lot of ties with the music community. Wyatt being a music artist and having basically a studio in his apartment. Me and Emil being involved in making a lot of music videos. I mean, Wyatt also makes a lot of music videos. Ava being a someone in video, but also a music artist. And Ramon here helping us out, who I had just met for the first time here. And he makes music, but he was interested in helping us out with the filming process here. Yeah, like I said, we're going to increase the value we're providing every time. So whether that's a bit better set design or more cameras, more angles involved, potentially doing some sort of interview, podcast sort of thing along with it at some point. But yeah, for now we're basically switching up the theme every time. I'm losing my voice. We're basically switching up the theme every time. So this time was obviously older TVs, and then we just changed the lighting for each artist and maybe what was on the TVs to go along with the track a little bit. But we're keeping it pretty similar. So basically each I guess series, this would be like series 2, I suppose, would have its own theme. So yeah, I basically don't really know how much I'm going to end up getting paid for this. It'll basically just be split between me, Emil, Wyatt, and the studio, pretty much. So I'm not expecting that it will end up being a lot, but I know that, but I kind of had that assumption from the beginning that this was an idea between a group of us and we're all going to pitch in our efforts whichever way we can until it grows into something that's a bit more profitable and makes more monetary sense. But for now, I'm willing to really put in that work, no matter what the rate will be, because that's what we're all doing. Wyatt's editing, grading all of these in post, and then posting it up to his Music Collective's YouTube channel and Instagram. Emil's, of course, bringing in a ton of gear to make this happen. I'm bringing in some of my lighting as well, and Jib operating for the days, and yeah, we're all pitching in though. That's a wrap for day 1 of well, technically the second series of this thing called Jib Night, Jib Day, live showcases with a whole bunch of Calgary artists. We had about, I think, like 8 to 10 artists come through today. We'll have even more tomorrow, and it'll be a longer shoot day. Plus, in the morning, I'm shooting 1 or 2 interviews for the short doc we've been doing in the last few episodes with Ethan. So potentially I'll just film like a little bit of that, put it in here, and tomorrow's gonna be a super long day though. I think I'll be getting picked up at about 7:30 in the morning, doing that documentary shoot in the morning, and then Jib Day starts 1 p.m., goes till about 8 p.m. Then we gotta wrap up, get everything out of the studio space. Shooting at Studio Luma. Some really great people there. Today we just had a few issues at the end with the Movi, I believe it was. I didn't really know what the issues was. It was more like Emil was trying to troubleshoot it. We kind of got it figured out by the end. And then he was able to control it again with the Mimic thing on a fluid head tripod. So, but then the rest of the performances went pretty well and we weren't too disorganized, so it was pretty good. It is a lot though to take on in a single day.
Just the full blue screen on the TV, so we could like green screen something, like anything we choose.
That could be
like,
cool.
onto the TV kind of thing.
Yeah.
Even if we shot something later and we wanted to pop it on the TV, like we could use the TV for the promo. You could even just film here. You could just point the DAS camera and set something.
Yeah.
Just like save it, you know.
I like that. No, that'd be
Save
sick.
the thing and then just do it.
This little piece of technology right here is probably the sickest part of the whole rig, which is basically a mimic system. I don't know exactly what pieces Emil has here. Maybe I should have asked him, but it's basically a mimic system so that whatever he moves on the fluid head tripod here, the Movi will perfectly mimic it. Well, perfectly for the most part. Does a pretty good job though. So I can basically move around the jib however I want, and then Emil would be back here with the big Atomos monitor, and he'd be keeping the image composed properly. And then we actually just ended up using the Sony FX6's autofocus, which was really amazing. Like, surprisingly, I mean, Sony has really good autofocus, but I'm not one to trust autofocus a lot. I really like the Blackmagic cameras, and I was shooting on the GH5 for a while, so I'm really one to go for some manual focus. But obviously in a scenario like this, you'd need a first AC to be pulling, and we probably could have had the gear to set that up, but since we mostly had 3 of us for the second day, and really, 4 or 5 of us on the first day, it just didn't really make sense to set up one of us as a first AC when the FX6's autofocus is that good for face tracking that it just really keeps them in it like the whole time. We barely had any issues with it for any of these showcases we've done. I didn't have a super specific role in this. We were all kind of directing and also directing what the lighting would be for each artist. We're all kind of collaborating on that. And then I was jib operating for the whole thing. And yeah, I would just kind of move the jib to the feeling of the song and the pacing and beat of it. And then Emil would direct me on changing up my movements at all, or the speed of my movements. And we'd adjust from there for the second take.
Get prepped for one. Turn on the
Josh, do you want to see YouTube video cameo?
Oh, this is a video? We out here, Studio Luma.
That's a wrap, baby. Yo.
That's a wrap. That's a wrap.
Yeah.
I had absolutely nothing to do with any of this production.
Thanks,
But I'm here with
Josh.
AJ.
Thanks, AJ from Studio Luma.
Hey, oh, that's a fucking video.
You're gonna be in my YouTube video.
Yo, what it is, it's your boy Hamza Mattie. We got Owen Poffenroth in the cut, you know what I'm saying? Quit playing with the boy, top tier, you feel me?
We ended off with filming a bit for one of Wyatt's music videos that I'm DPing currently. And if you guys do want to check out some of these final videos, I'll link the Sorry Not Sorry channel below, and you guys can check some of them out.